Hey guys, AD here from the Explorographer.com, and today I'm going to show you how I'm being replaced by a machine. Alright guys, I got this new product from my friends over at Skylum, and it's called PhotoLemur, and it's basically an automatic photo processing tool that can, do everything I can do. I can do everything that you can do, but I can do it better or whatever. That's what this does. So I wanted to show it to you guys because it raises a lot of questions, right? People are like, well, if a machine can do it and it can be done automatically, that kind of takes me out of the equation, but it doesn't. This is going to be a time saver, I think, in the long run. I want to show you what it is, show you how it works, and then you guys can judge for yourself. So let's get started. So here I've called up the program. It's called PhotoLemur or PhotoLemur, and it's a really simple tool. When I start it up, this is what I'm presented with. So you can click import here, or I've got On1 Photo Raw open over here, and I can just browse to any photo that I want. Now, I could take these normal photos and roll them in there, and you're not going to really see anything. So I'm going to take some photos that I consider damaged. So I'm going to select this guy, and I haven't done this part before, but I'm going to select this one here. I'm trying to select multiple photos at once to show you. I hope this works. I've not done this, so I'm going to select this one's kind of blown out. Let's see. You guys have probably seen all these photos.
Many hours later.
Well, here's one where the foreground is really dark. So let's see what it does with that. All right. So I've got 4 photos there. I'm going to drag these over and put them here on top of this window. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We get our little chime. You can see all 4 of those photos arrive here in PhotoLemur. And then if I select any photo, so let's just start with this first one. I'm going to double click on it, and PhotoLemur is going to go ahead and do its magic. Now, this is an AI program that uses cloud computing to process your photo. So you can see here it's improving exposure. It'll look for skies. It'll do its thing. And there you go. I didn't do anything. That was it. I just dragged it in and said go. Look at that. I mean, it's hard to argue with results like that. Now, this might be a little bit too much for you. So if I click on the brush down here, I can go ahead and toggle between the two and get it just right the way I want to. And then I can go ahead and say okay and export it out. But that's not where the real magic is. Of course, I could do this individually on every photo. Let's do another one just so you can see the dramatic differences. So there we go. I mean, come on, right? Amazing. Let's do one more just to drive it home, right? Let's see if it can recover anything on this beach. I'm interested in whether or not it'll think, oh, he likes the silhouette. Because I like the silhouette personally, but who knows? Oh, there you go. So, so here's a case where I kind of like the silhouetted version more than the dressed up version. With all of this, you can see all this stuff here on the beach, and the reason why is because the real winner here is the sunset, and I really don't want your eye tracing the beach and seeing all that stuff. I want you to be here, and I think on this version, so in some cases it doesn't do what I want it to, but that's fine, and we'll do the final photo here. And it's pretty quick. You can play around with the designs here if you want to. And then here's a pretty dramatic difference as well. It's also doing a lens correction, by the way. And there are no real settings here. If you look in here, there's pretty much for settings. That's it. There's nothing much. So what I want to show you though is a time saver. Okay, if you think of this as your first pass, like this is before you do your creative processing on this. This can go through and do all of your basic adjustments quickly, fast, without even pretty much your involvement. So let's just start over here. There's a nice handy start over button. Okay, so where I think PhotoLemur actually shines is in the ability for it to be your post-processing second hand. So if I come home from a shoot and I have all these photos and I've done my picks of the photos that I want, I can go ahead and select those. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm holding down the control. Now you could do this in Lightroom or whatever your editing software is. Let's not choose that one. Let's choose that one. That one's really blown out. And you get all your photos picked, the ones that you want. Let's see what it does with that one. Down here. There's a couple more. I don't want to choose too many because we want to make this fairly quick. We'll go ahead and choose that one. All right, I can drag all these over. And that's going to go ahead and load them all up. Now, I can go ahead and just export these 5 photos. So I'm going to click that. And I now have the options here to do disk, Facebook, or Twitter. We're going to do disk. And I can choose anywhere that I want to send these photos. I could actually put them back in my Lightroom catalog or on one catalog so that they load up right alongside these. Or I'm just going to choose a new folder this time around. So let me just get into here and pictures, and we're just going to put them in PhotoLemur, okay? There we go. If you want to, you can select advanced settings. This allows you to save everything as a preset, which is pretty cool. So we can go ahead and we can overwrite here. We can choose the base naming or put a prefix on it, however we want. Choose our quality. Our color profile, which is very important because I edit in Pro Photo, so I would probably use this as my first pass. So I would save this in Pro Photo. Only if I was doing my final edits or letting PhotoLemur do my final edits would I allow this to save it as sRGB, which we're just going to do this time because we're just going to look at these. And you can resize them as well. And then when you're done, you can click Save Setting, and then you can choose it as, JPEG first pass. There you go. And you can hit Save, and it'll save that preset. So if I call that up, that's what we're using. And I'll go ahead and hit Continue, and now PhotoLemur is going to do all of its magic to all 5 photos in a row. So we're going to let this finish, and when I come back, I can go do other things now if I want to. I could edit other photos, whatever. But we're going to let this finish, and when I come back, we'll take a look at the results. All right, we just finished up, and that was 5 photos. Let me tell you a little bit about the photos first of all. Those were all 42 megabyte raw files that I processed. It took about 4.5 minutes to complete the task. So we've got everything processed here. Let's look at the results. And the I don't know if we're going to be able to see the before and after. We just hit done here, I think. Yeah, there we go. So we can see the before and after on these photos and kind of compare what you're seeing there. Now, I noticed that this guy here didn't quite come out right. And I think, this was completely blown out. I mean, there was no way there was any recoverable data in there. So let's just look at the results here. So I'm going to open these up. All right, here's the first photo. You can see we've got our sky in here. Doesn't look blown out. Looks pretty good. Looks like the water came out pretty good. So there are a couple of dust spots here. There was quite a bit of mist in the air. So I would have to go back, obviously. I would love it. I would love it if you could teach the AI guys how to notice these dust spots and remove them automatically. I have a feeling whenever I've looked at these with the dust spot removal tool in Lightroom, they always have this particular shape. They kind of look like a pimple almost on the photo. Seems like you could teach AI to figure out what those look like, and all but the worst cases you could automatically remove. I think that would be a great feature for this program. That would save me a lot of time right there. I'd buy it just for that. All right, let's look at the next photo. So here's the car. You can see that there's a lot more detail now in the trees back here, and you can really see that. Windows isn't really displaying. There it goes. It took a second to catch up and display the full resolution. But so these are big files, by the way. I'll tell you the size of the actual JPEGs when we're done here. But yeah, so it does a nice job of making a good starting point. I mean, I would come in and probably want to edit this a little bit and do some changes here and there, but I've got a good starting point to go with. Now here's the one that was blown out, and obviously there was no data in here to pull out of that raw file, or the program would have pulled it, but quite a recovery from what it was. And this photo is more well exposed, so you can see everything here is nice and balanced. You can see the fog and all the details. So that came out nice. And let's look at the final photo here, which was of the waterfall. And this wasn't a bad photo. There was some lost detail here in the trees, and back here I don't think you can, even in the original you couldn't even see these fishermen back here, so now you can even see that. So overall, a wonderful first pass job, and that's exactly what I would use it for, and you know what I would use PhotoLemur for. Oh, I did promise you that I would show you the size of those files, so let's talk about that really quick. I think this here, yeah, so you can see here 41 megabytes for the raw file. So here is the file size on these. So 33 megabytes. So these were big files. 4.5 minutes for these 5 files. 38 megabytes. And these are uncompressed JPEG, by the way. This one, no data, see? 9.63 megabytes. So yeah, if there's more detail in it, there's going to, obviously, the file size is going to be larger. So that's PhotoLemur. I will put a link in the description of the video on where you can get it. I do have an affiliation with the company, so if you do decide you like this program and want to pick it up, if you use my link, I do get a very small kickback at no cost to you. So I do appreciate that. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, if you have a program you want to see me review, if you have a tech question, over on my Patreon at thecreators.com, creators.com. We have a little community over there where you can support me on my YouTube channel for as little as $1 a month, and you can request videos for me to make, and you can watch all the secret stuff we do, and yeah, it's a secret $1 society, so check it out. And all right, that's going to do it for this video. You guys stay creative, and we'll see you in the next one.